All right, it's me unapologetically T, and the video cut off. I'm about to end it anyway, so this video is gonna be really short. I don't even know to call this part 3, but that is where we hung out. Is like the mall, movies, other people's houses, um, shit. We was everywhere. Like by the time we got a car, we was everywhere. Ooh. It says, what rebellious things did you do as a teenager? I guess I'll give y'all 15 more minutes of questions. Because I find this funny. This is making me reflect on things. I don't feel like. I would say having sex was the most rebellious thing I did. Like, I wasn't a bad teen. I was. I wasn't a bad teenager. I was a bad teenager in the sense that I had anger issues, but I wasn't a bad teenager as in the sense of like I was just always in trouble. So like my anger issues came out when someone did something to me. I wasn't just walking around fucking with people. I feel like Rick James. Like, why would I put my foot in Charlie? In Eddie Murphy's couch? Then turn right around and be like, yeah, I remember putting my foot in. But no, I'm not that. Like literally, I don't go around fucking with people. It's literally someone ends up messing with me, and it ain't even one time, baby, because like my threshold for giving motherfuckers chances is big. Usually it's some repeated shit you doing, and I'm letting it slide, and because I'm letting it slide, you think you can keep doing it, you think I'm sweet, so you just keep on doing it, you keep on doing it, and then you fuck around and you find out. And and then I'm being called the crazy one, and I'm being called the one who went too far when I don't believe in that. Like, I don't believe in going too far. Like, once you get me to the point where I do get to that point, that means you done had multiple chances. So I don't want to hear it. Take this. Take it. So I will say I wasn't that bad of a child as far as being rebellious. Like, I never snuck out of the house. I was scared to death. If Charlotte White caught me sneaking out the house, I won't have no skin on my ass. So I was not playing with her. I won't play with her at all. I think the most rebellious shit I used to do was talk back. Like that was me being brave. Like that was me being really, really brave. Like I would talk back. And I just like to think that in some black households, anything could be talking back. Like your parent could tell you to do something, you could say, I'll do it after I finish doing this, and they'll be like, what you mean? Do it right now. And that's talking back. Like, or you say they said you did something and you ain't do it, and you're trying to explain to them that you didn't do it. That's talking back. So by the time I got a teenager, I got tired of me verbalizing how I felt as talking back. Like, no, you gonna get this. Like, and I was brave because my mom could have easily beat the shit out of me, but she didn't. I think she remembered how I felt to grow up and be in her household, and she couldn't say nothing. Like, so she grew up during the time like children were to be seen and not heard, and sometimes they want to be seen. So like if adults was having conversations, like they could not be in the same room, I let mine be in the same room. She need to learn some life lessons, hear it from somebody else, so that when it come a time that you're facing this, remember that conversation. Because sometimes you don't need to step in shit to know that it stink. So I definitely let mine be a little bit more aware of certain knowledges. I don't have certain truths from her because I mean she gonna get it from her friends anyway. Like I remember my child come home and fucking preschool talking about one of her friends got cheated on and all that shit, and I was like, when she said stuff like that, I was like, okay, it's time for the teacher about life. And so we always have a open conversations about adult stuff. Now, if it's an adult and they want to share their personal business, nah, go somewhere. But if it's just like us having a conversation, I don't dismiss my child. Like she want her. If she don't want to hear it, she don't want to hear it. She gonna go about her business anyway. But she a teenager now, so I feel like she know what she want to hear, what she don't want to hear. But me growing up, I think mouth was my rebellion, because I didn't sneak out. I was open to my mom about boys. Like, she knew who my boyfriends were. She allowed me to date. So even if she didn't meet a boyfriend, like, she knew who they were. Or if I really liked somebody, she knew who they were. So it was certain stuff like she was open about, so I didn't have to hide it. And I appreciate her and love her to this day. And I'd give the same openness to my child, because even with my mom not being strict, like, I still ended up having sex at 16 and getting pregnant. So imagine your parent being strict and you do that. So I always try to be open with my child, tell her what I can tell her, and let her know that it's an open door over here. If you fuck up, just let me know. We ain't gotta play them games. So I kind of had enough freedom that I don't think I was really rebellious on much. I think my attitude was probably like the worst thing that was wrong with me. Did you get to date as a teenager? Yes, I did. And I remember, like, my first, like, date. It was with MP. If you went to the school, then you know it was with MP, and you might know his initials. But yeah, that was like my first date, and he was such a sweet boyfriend. He just cheated on me, and that broke my heart, because I wasn't having sex at the time when we were together. So it broke my heart, because I liked him for him, and like, I wasn't ready to have sex yet. And yeah, that happened. But he was really sweet to me. He still is a good person, I feel, but he was a good person then. He just was young. And but we used to talk on the phone all the time, and we used to go to the movies all the time. Like, we used to do different stuff together. Yeah, that was him. And I will never forget the game he bought me. I think it was my birthday or something. But yeah, I used to like to play The Sims, and he bought me the Sims game for the PlayStation. Because I had it on the computer, but he bought it on the PlayStation. So that was cool. I never forgot. What was your childhood home like? It was like hell, if you've been paying attention. It had good moments, but boy, was it rough. And that just depends. It depends on what day it was. So I think I'm almost getting to the point where, like, I'm tired of doing these. So I'm gonna save this one. But yeah, it says, what was your childhood house like? That was a flashback. What did your parents do for work? So my mom had multiple jobs when I was growing up. Like, when I was my youngest, my mom was cleaning houses. But before she was doing that, because I feel like that was kind of like when her mom died, like, she kind of like had her downfall of figuring out life and all that stuff. So prior to that, my mom was a licensed cosmetologist, and she worked on white people's hair. She was not really trained for black people hair. She did a lot of chemicals, cutting, styling, but not braiding and stuff like that. So, but she could do, she was licensed to do relaxers and all that stuff, chemicals, coloring, all that. So she was really good at that. And when I typically used to bleach my hair when I was like a teenager, she was the one that would do it. When I tried to do it on my own, that should not work out. So she had multiple jobs, but when I came along, she was a housekeeper, and she worked for this Jewish family, which I'm happy that they're a part of our story, because like I've talked about, I think I have in previous stories, like, they gave her sets of encyclopedias when they was like renewing theirs. Like, they taught her a lot of good stuff. Like we ate super healthy. So like the snacks that they had for their kids, like she would buy us in the grocery store because she saw like they were healthier. Like I grew up eating rice cakes and celery and peanut butter, or celery and cream cheese, and raisins, and like, so like that was like my snacks and stuff. And then we like ate dinner, but like breakfast, you know, we ate like Cheerios and unfrosted cornflakes. I fucking hate you. and we did used to put sugar on ours because I couldn't do it bad stuff. That's one thing, like I couldn't do bad stuff, and I wasn't a big sugar person at that time. I did not become a sugar person until my stepdad came in the house, and he used to give me sugar to appease me so I could get out that face because I was super attached to my mom. So he would buy me candy, ice cream. Like my mom didn't have that in the house for us. Like we didn't have the latest snacks in the house. Like literally, like there weren't even like, I can't even recall there being like a bag of chips in the house that we could just like go to all the time. Like that was like a request type of thing. And so like there was always fruit bowls, and she always made fruit salads, and we had a garden in the backyard. Like so we ate pretty healthy. So I was pretty lean and small. So but then my stepdad came along, and I found sugar. I even remember having soda for the first time. That's what I mean by we ate healthy. Like I can remember my first time having soda, and it was pineapple soda. And to this day, me and pineapple soda have a relationship with each other. That I only need, you know, once there's a craving, but me and it has a relationship with each other that I need to let go of. I need to let the sugar go. So she did that. She was a CNA before. She's done a lot of different jobs. No, I was just thinking about she had community service. That's not a job. That's not a job at all. But that's something else. Okay, so when I was about 16, 17, she went back to school. That's 17. She went back to school. I think it was before then. I don't know. I know she was 57, so I probably was 17. She went back to school for nursing, and she did LPN. So those are her career paths that I remember. There's some other ones too, but those are the ones that I remember. She's done some different stuff. My dad, he retired from the Air Force. He was a mechanic for the planes, and that was him. And that's him. That's him. That's him. That's why I think I had a problem with how my father was as a father, because it was like his story doesn't have drugs and alcohol in it. I mean, he did have, like, he used to drink, but it wasn't to the point where like he lost jobs or anything like that. He retired from the military. But I think that fucked me up the most about my job. My dad was like, there was no excuse when I was growing up for, now that I'm older I can see it, but there was no real excuse. Like I couldn't say like, oh, my dad's a crackhead, like that's why he ain't in my life. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but I couldn't say that. Like I couldn't say, oh, my dad, you know, he fucked up on drugs, like that's why he not in my life. I couldn't say, you know, what I know now about why he did what he did. And you know, I think now, you know, some shit happened to him, and I think his father not being a father, you know, damaged him too. That part damaged him. My grandmother working because she had to take care of them kids by herself, that caused some damage too. And then the perv stuff, you know, that very well could have been a gift that kept on giving. So because I think that happens a lot in the black community, and we don't even know. A lot of us don't even call it what it is. Like we make excuses and we victim blame. So there we go. I think I'm gonna end it there. I hope these videos was fun for you. They were very traumatizing. Well, not traumatizing. It was very much reliving some trauma, and then there was some fun parts too. So the ones that I answered, I am gonna put to the back of the deck because this was early life. I don't think these cards. I don't think I'm a. When I guess later in life, I gotta leave those out. Some of them probably because it probably ain't gonna match for me. But that was fun, so I'm gonna put those in the back of the deck and maybe do some more of these videos another day. I really ain't had no stories for y'all that I felt like it's calling out or screaming out for me to tell them. Really, I'm just focused on the move. So bear with me. I'm trying to be creative. Well, I'm not, but I am trying to still put out content, but my mind is not focused on content at the time. My mind is mostly focused on, first of all, these injustices that are happening in the world. Are you paying attention? Like, are you watching TV? And if you are watching TV and in the news or reading the news, like, it's a lot of shit that's happening right now. So my mind has been focused on that. I've been praying a lot for a lot of different people and countries, and it's just been wild to me. Like, I hate to see it. I hate to see genocide. It has happened to my people, and it still silently happens to my people. The injustice that happen to my people, like, no, they're not dying, but they're not dying by bombs and all that stuff, but we're dying by poisoning the foods, the water. Like, Flint still doesn't have clean water to this day. Like, make it make sense. So and that's just from this generation and previous generation when people have faced genocide at very, very bad levels. And history would like to wash and erase certain stuff. So I just want everybody to do research, even if you're not big into reading. Like, buy Audible, like, shit, do something, like, because your history is out here, and once you learn your history, it's gonna piss you off. But I will say this, allow that energy to be energy of change and be the change you want to see. Like I said, once again, I am decolonizing my own mind. So it starts with me, and I always like to think of myself as a small activist, small level activist. I'm not a big level activist, but I've always been the change that I wanted to see in certain aspects. But there's other aspects that I have probably done injustices to myself and others because of the way of my thinking. So I am learning to be that change that I would like to see in this world. But things are changing, and what a time to be a fucking laugh. I feel like it is a time to be alive. I want to do a video on these grocery store prices, like, because I feel like they done lost their man. Everything going up but the pay. I keep saying that shit, like, everything going up but the pay. Like, make it make sense. Like, you raised the minimum wage a little, didn't touch middle class. so now we like a notch up here from y'all. Like, not y'all, we're a notch up here because I'm y'all. We are a notch here from this. So I felt like I'm both. Like, well, I was both. So I was here, now I'm here, and it's like, make it make sense. And then you got people all the way up here where you could just disperse some resources and everybody can be happy. But we live in a capitalistic society, so for some people it just feels like, you know, in order to be worthy in life and to find life fulfilling, you have to have somebody at the bottom miserable doing your work for you while you get to play and be free and be happy. When it could all be so simple. We could just live off this free ass earth that God gave us. Number one. That's number one. That's appalling to me. Like, I gotta pay to live here when God said it was free. All he said I had to work. nose till the earth. We can do that. These niggas done lost their mind. They got too many steps to this shit. Like, then they want to trick us and make us think we own some shit. And how you gonna own some land? How do you do this? Like, how do you truly own it? Like, how do you truly own it? And then if you go about their things, like, if you want to go about their things, like, they say you own it. On paper you own it. But let your ass not pay them property taxes. That's where my head is at. I'm like, nice illusion. But y'all cried to the British because they wanted to tax y'all without representation. But y'all turning around and doing the same shit to us. Because yeah, y'all got representation in the office, but who the fuck do they represent? Have they lived poor? Have they lived middle class? Because they couldn't have. You can't make these decisions that you're making for us if you lived and know the struggle like us. So yeah, it's wild though. It's wild watching everything pan out. But if you want to see my political views, I don't even call them political views. I call them humanitarian views, because I'm about humanity. So if you are one of those people and you're interested in my views, I definitely post a lot on Instagram and my stories about how I truly feel. So I've been dealing with that, and I've been dealing with finding someone to... Shut up, don't hate on my afro. And why is your hair wet again? You're gonna dry your hair out. As long as it's moisture, it looks soaking wet. I don't care moisture, but the soaking wet part, if you don't put conditioner back into it, you're gonna be a dry little girl. Huh? Is it what? No, they're not clean. I have to wash them. But alright, y'all, I'm gone. The kid is asking me questions. I talk to you, I guess, when I feel like it. Y'all be safe out there. I love y'all, and thanks for the support. Like and share these videos if you're watching.